Hello, Internet. This is going to be something like a vlog because I just wanted to talk a little bit about the holidays, and there's been a real lack of content on the channel, so really felt bad going a week without putting up a video. So we're going to talk a little bit about the holidays. That's going to include a few dark topics, sadder concepts. So if you're really sensitive to those type of things, depression, suicidal thoughts, things like that, video is probably not for you. I'm a little unclear on when exactly the quote unquote holiday season actually starts, but I usually start to feel it in November, usually right before Thanksgiving, or honestly around now. It's November 10th as I record this. In fact, I found my first Christmas themed items in the store around like October like 13th or something. It really frustrated me. We hadn't even had Halloween yet, and they were already branding for Christmas, which it's so stupid. But I guess it's not really surprising. Christmas, at least in America, I don't know about most other countries, but Christmas in the United States is not really a holiday. It's more like a commercial opportunity, which is pathetic, and I hate consumerism, but we're not here to talk about that. Thanksgiving and Christmas are times when people would say they're supposed to be spent with family and friends, having a good time, enjoying yourself. And most people, even if you're not, maybe you don't celebrate Christmas, maybe you don't really have family to eat Thanksgiving with, at some point you likely will get some time off from your job. The overall atmosphere in the world changes. There's Halloween festivities, big dinners, people exchange gifts. It is it is a holiday. It is a time of year that has people. It changes people's behavior. It changes their mood. And in spite of all that, I will be very unhappy. In fact, and I'm not the only one. The holidays are allegedly meant to be times of togetherness and happiness, but there are many of us who do not have those experiences. For the last 5 or 6 years, I've had basically the same holidays over and over and over. Sometime around Thanksgiving, I start to feel a general malaise, just a general unhappiness. For my current job, it's the most demanding part of the year. I would say around Black Friday through Christmas is when I do the most work. I often spend many, many hours working, but I don't get paid hourly, so I'm basically doing a ton of work for the exact same pay I get the rest of the year. And I mean like hours and hours of extra work for literally not an extra penny. And it's frustrating, and I don't get holidays off. I work 365 days a year. And yeah, it sucks. I see people around me who are celebrating. You can kind of see when the holidays start to kick off, people kind of switch it on. They have adopt a certain attitude and behavior that's so cheerful and fake, and it's so frustrating. The family that I live with, they'll make a turkey on Thanksgiving, usually with some sides, but we don't eat together. With my work schedule, I usually end up heating up my food. I just eat in my bedroom. In December, my family usually has a Christmas party. Like all the family comes out. It's kind of like a family reunion. Cousins, second cousins, all the kids and their parents and all that stuff. We all get together, aunts and uncles. They trade gifts. They play games. I haven't really gone to these parties. I went last year, and I'm an outsider who walks a very dark path, I guess, in my life, and I don't really feel welcome there. In fact, last year I had something like a anxiety attack and ended up leaving. On Christmas Day, I go to work, like any other day. I usually around midnight will buy a small bottle of eggnog from like the corner store, and it's really my only taste of the season. I don't do anything holiday wise. I'm a lonely man. It's the unfortunate progression of being a lonely child. All my life, even back when I had surrogate families, when I was a teenager, my friends would invite me to their Thanksgiving with their family. Every Christmas party, every Halloween party, I got invited to everything, but I was so lonely, even amid all those people. And I'm not sure what it is about my mental state or my personality that makes me it's so difficult for me to engage with other people on like a meaningful level. I didn't really make a video to complain about that. In fact, although it is a hardship, I don't really mind that this is my life. Some days I ache for a better family, or a girlfriend and a wife, children, that sort of thing. But for the most part, I've accepted that this is what my life is, and it might continue to be like this for a long time. In fact, this might be the rest of my life. I might never find someone, and mostly I'm okay with that. In fact, I made this video to tell you that I'm not alone, not really. There are always people who seem to gravitate towards me. I don't know what it is about me that makes people so interested in my opinion, but it doesn't matter where I go. It doesn't matter what I do. It seems like people always, once they talk to me, they want to be around me. Like, I'm doing YouTube, right? There are a bunch of people on YouTube that for some reason they care about what I have to say. They want to hear my stories. They want to hear me talk about how I live my life and my philosophies and belief systems and all that stuff. And it's odd how many people gravitate towards me. And there's a good chance that some of you feel the same way I do. The loneliness, the sadness, all that stuff. Even when you're surrounded by people, there's a good chance there are people watching this who know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know what it is about me that makes me this way. And I definitely can't tell you what makes you the way you are. But it sucks, The holidays are hard and terrible for a lot of people. Suicide rates go up. People all over the planet struggle just to keep going. I don't know what keeps most people going. I don't know how people muddle through it. But for me, the only thing that has ever really kept me going is that, as dark and broken as I am, there's this little teeny tiny kernel of hope, like in the bottom of my bleak soul. Even in my darkest moments, I've always clung to that thought that things can be better than they are right now. I've had very dark days in my life, and I always just hoped that things would be better someday. And that's really all I can say about it. I can't tell you that your life is going to get better. I can't tell you that the holidays will be easy. I can't tell you that you can easily turn things around. I don't know you. I don't know your situation. I don't know what it's like to be in your shoes. All I can say is that you're not alone. It's easy to feel alone. I spent most of my teenage years surrounded by people that probably in some capacity loved me, but I always felt alone and isolated, and like no one could see the world the way that I saw the world. They couldn't understand what I was going through or what it was like to be me. I always felt different and peculiar, and it made it so hard to feel like other people could relate to me or understand my predicaments. And that's part of what depression does. It makes you feel like you're the only one who feels this way. Like you're the only one thinking these things. You're the only one who can't do it. And that's just a lie. You're not alone. I'm not alone. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who are going to struggle this holiday season, who are going to feel the things that I've talked about. And just like I'm not alone in feeling this way, neither are you. In fact, there are more people than ever who are going to be feeling this way because of coronavirus. Coronavirus is making it difficult for people to connect. We saw it over Halloween. How many people were excited in some capacity? A lot of people, Halloween is their favorite time of year. They get to dress up. They get to go out with friends. A lot of people get drunk. You get, pumpkin spice, whatever. It's just that time of year. And people love that. And this year they couldn't do it. And it really upset more people than I really expected it to. A lot of people are going to feel this way this year. And I wish that I could give you advice. I wish I could tell you that things will be better. But I always hated when people would tell me that. How many times, like literally, if you know what I'm talking about, how many times have people told you, oh, it'll get better. Just hang in there. It's going to get better. I hated when people told me that. Even though it's mostly true, things do generally get better. The darkest moments feel horrible and overwhelming, but they're ultimately moments. They're not forever. So I would just encourage you to cling to hope. It's like hope is the only thing that ever kept me going. And without hope, life is completely pointless. You're not alone. You know, there are a lot of us misfits in the world. You know, we're all feel it's just so dumb. We all feel like we're suffering alone, but we're not. We're all suffering together. We just don't realize that because we can't see beyond the moment that we're in. Oh man, this video got away from me. Keep your chin up. Stay safe over the holiday season. If things get particularly bad, reach out to someone. Remember that there are crisis hotlines. I will put the United States like national suicide prevention hotline in the description down below. You know, you're not beyond help. You're not really alone. Those are just lies that the darkness tells you. And yeah, that's where my head's at right now. And I'm going through a lot, you know. Things with my brother are worse than they've ever been, to the point where I feel like I can't even record YouTube because it just sets him off. He gets so triggered and his mental health is deteriorating very severely. Things are very bad right now in my household and I feel like I can't do anything. I feel like nothing I do matters. No one is listening to me when I offer advice or try to reach out and help people. I'm just I'm suffering pretty bad and I anticipate the holidays are going to be very rough for me. And I'm just clinging to that hope, you know, just hanging on to that little spot in my soul that says, you know, we can turn this around, you know. It's definitely a small part of me. The main bulk of my personality, the bulk of what I think and feel about the world is very bleak and dark and colorless and painful. But there's that tiny little piece of me, you know, that I'm hanging on to. Well, internet, this was initially meant to be an uplifting video. I can tell now that it's not. Hang in there, you know, just keep hanging in there. The holidays are going to come and go. We'll be in the next year before you know it. And happy holidays. Merry Christmas. All right, everybody. That's it for this episode. Sorry, this one got away from me a little bit. Oh, jeez. Hey, thanks for watching and happy holidays.